Oh shit, we're back again!
Yeah!
Wrassleboys!
Wrassleboys!
Turn the theme off, there we go.
Oh my god. Alright.
So, as a result of me accidentally playing a slur on last week's episode, I have fired Rock 10.
he will not be here.
He will not be here as a result of my mistakes. So,
Alright. So, I'm Mega Fighter, that's Allie.
yes, this is
Because
Wrassleboys.
we forgot to introduce ourselves last time, like idiots.
The weekly 2002 podcasting wrestling experience that nobody asked for. No.
By the way, fucking Deadlock podcast, horning in on our territory.
Johnny, I've been watching you since Notwinski. Back off, man.
How dare you?
How dare
you talk about the SmackDown where they kidnapped Scott Hall?
We talked about the SmackDown where they kidnapped Scott Hall like a week before he talked about the SmackDown where they kidnapped Scott Hall.
Exactly.
That is bullshit.
You sons of bitches.
Sons of bitches. I'm looking at you, James. Yeah, I know what you did.
We know what you did, James.
I think that was only a 2-man episode they did.
It was just James and Johnny.
Yes.
Paul, Tony Pizza Guy, you're fine.
You're fine.
You're fine. We don't have beef with you.
Pizza. And so we're getting so fucking close to WrestleMania. I can taste the sour Skittles.
We are 2 weeks to sour Skittles.
Exactly.
We start off with the intro, and then we got Vince telling us that Ric Flair will not be joining us due to a family emergency.
With his eyes as wide open as he possibly can.
And it's Fan Appreciation Night tonight on Raw.
Fan Appreciation Night. I'm on cocaine. No.
I felt appreciated watching this show, let me tell you. Okay.
You know what was the weird thing I noticed about this Raw when I first started watching it? The hard camera's on the wrong side.
Right.
Like, normally it's on the left side, and when it's on the left side, like, the entrance ramp is to the left.
Yeah.
But this one was on the right, and it made everything look weird and backwards.
Yeah, it's like you flip the camera. It's like you flip the screen.
Yeah, but, like, that didn't happen with SmackDown. That was only Raw. They were in Austin, Texas, I believe. I don't remember.
The Frank Irwin Center.
Yes, and Alex Jones might have been there being racist or some shit.
Anyway, we start off with what sounds like a promising match: Booker T versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Also,
we forgot about the shampoo thing again.
Also, wait a minute. WWF New York, where no one in particular is there at the moment.
Please go to WWF New York.
We got chicken wings.
That probably tastes like ass.
Probably. Stone Cold comes out, and despite the wrapping on one of his knees, he is fucking, like, marching like he's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
What can you do?
And we
have the announcement from commentary that a member of the NWO is going to appear tonight. And that one member was the entire NWO, so...
Good job, boys. Speaking of commentary, Lawler refers to Booker T's hairstyle as a Medusa.
Yeah, so No, he says that, like, Asian people have stupid haircuts, and they should get Booker T's hair, which he calls the Medusa, which I think is wrong.
That can't be right.
Those are braids.
Those are braids.
Dreadlocks are bigger than braids, but yeah.
And also, I don't know if
and besides,
Japanese
like,
people should have braids. Is that a thing that looks good?
I feel like there's like a Japanese nu metal band that does that, but I don't know the name of them.
Like, we've talked about that before in just personal life, of just like hairstyles that look wrong on certain people. Like, white guy dreads are terrible.
Oh god, white guy dreads. Those are the worst.
And Asian people with dyed blonde hair.
Oh, that's like the ultimate I'm kind of a dick move, like you're a villain in a sports movie. Just have like an Asian guy with bleached blonde hair.
Yeah. You're a dick if you do that. It's pretty much a fact.
I would say perms, but there's a lot of Japanese guys with perms. That's kind of an old school.
Fine.
That's like an old school Yakuza look.
But if you're blonde, it's just like, oh my god, you look like an asshole.
Yes.
But yeah, you brought up the camera earlier, and definitely it shows that they're on the wrong side because, like, eventually, like, they didn't cut right because this match starts up and then, like, the crowd's kind of like looking off to the side.
They brawl for a bit. Booker T whips Stone Cold into the corner and does that kind of punch chop thing he does. Yeah. And then he does it again in a different corner, and then the match is over because the NWO just runs in.
Very slowly, I might add.
Very slowly.
It's a very ginger, like, run-in.
Yeah.
Booker T gets the fuck out of there, which, again, this is just... I really can't say enough how much I hate how the WWE booked the NWO.
You know, I'm not trying to shit on the three of them. I imagine, besides Hulk Hogan, that the Scott Hall and Kevin Nash are decent people.
Yeah.
But I imagine in a sprint contest, Scott Hall would be the fastest, and that's sad.
That is very well, yeah, because Hogan's got a bad back
and shit knees, and Nash is like gingerly running because anything farther than that and his legs will explode. So yeah. Scott Hall,
and even I can't be certain about Scott Hall because when we talk about like a later match, I notice how when Scott Hall has like kind of thin legs at the like from like the ankle down, kind of.
Yeah, a little bit, but I still feel like he could probably maintain a run for at least 5 seconds or more.
Yeah.
And the crowd looks... I thought they ran in from the crowd, but no, they ran down the ramp, but the ramp was the wrong way.
Yeah, or the camera was wrong. So it just like, you just see these people kind of looking off to the side. It's like, oh, okay, somebody's coming down that way, I guess.
Also, we got to see the concessions guy from this side.
Oh, yeah.
He's handing out fucking cotton candy and shit.
I talked about that like later on in the show.
Yeah. And out hot dogs.
So yeah, Booker T manages to escape an NWO run-in, which I'm fairly certain is not how you book the NWO.
I think Booker T just is gone for the rest of the episode. Ran.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that.
He's not even that beat up. Like he took some punches from Stone Cold. You know, he might have gotten Irish whipped once or twice.
He might have gotten hit once by like Scott Hall and then bailed.
Yeah, like he's fine. But Booker T's like, all right, I'm heading up. I'm going back to the hotel.
We get the free man beat down. Scott Hall hits Austin with like a wrench.
Oh yeah, they pull out a toolbox and they grab like a pipe wrench and nail him with it.
And he hitting blades. And
immediately blades.
And then just starts bleeding everywhere. Like, they get blood all over the fucking ring. I think
they intentionally, like, tried to smear the blood around as much as possible to make it look like it was really, really heinous and bad.
Wasn't Kevin Nash covered in, like hands are covered in...
No, like, after they busted him open and they sort of, like, did a bunch of moves on him and he was in the middle of the ring, like, Nash wiped his hand on Stone Cold's forehead and then, like, rubbed the blood on his hands like hand sanitizer.
Right.
And the first thing I thought of, because he does the over-the-top rope get in the ring thing, and he has to grab it, I was like, ew. Man, those ropes are going to be gross.
The ropes are going to be gross. The fucking mat was, like, covered in blood for the rest of the show.
Yeah, and every time I saw a wrestler with their face down, and they're, like, getting dragged to do, like a Boston Crab or some shit, I just imagine they're getting their face wiped on Stone Cold blood, and it's, like, gross.
So gross.
I'm not saying... I think it would have been much worse if it was X-Pac blood, but...
Or Bob Orton blood.
Could
have been way worse. I have a note here, and I think you'll probably have the elaboration. I wrote down, I didn't think you could break the 180 rule in wrestling.
I think it was just because some of their cameras were on the wrong side, and some were on the correct side. So sometimes when someone would run the ropes, the camera would kind of invert and you would lose where they are because they flipped directions.
So despite the fact that wrestling
the 180 rule is a camera technique that makes sure that if someone's standing on the right, no matter what camera they're on the right.
Yeah.
Because you're not breaking that plane. And I'm not talking about close-up cameras, because sometimes they'll take a cameraman and, like, someone gets thrown into the stairs, and then the cameraman will be, oh, he got thrown into the stairs!
And, like, wrestling doesn't have to strictly adhere to that rule, but I didn't think it could.
But it's really nice to know where the wrestler is relative to the other wrestler.
We cut the commercial after the NWO have done their beatdown.
Oh yeah, they leave Stone Cold, like, in the ring, and then Scott Hall runs back in, like, once or twice to hit him some more.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's a fucking thing that I think has, like, that's like a running theme of, like, stopping to beat up the face more.
Yeah,
that's a thing for this show. But we cut the commercial. We come back and
Stone Cold is still in the ring.
Still in the ring. They're getting out the gurney. They're gonna load him up,
but he refuses medical treatment.
And he's just still smearing blood on the ring.
He's just like, I gotta wipe more of my blood on the ring. And then, like, he kind of falls out and then just kind of, like, walks to the back while leaning on everything he can lean on to make it look like he's even more hurt. Yeah. And it takes so fucking long.
It takes forever.
He doesn't get on the ramp right. Then he kind of, like, walks to the back anyway. One thing I noticed, all three members of the NWO are wearing skinny jeans.
They're all wearing skinny jeans.
They're all wearing like Tommy Hill. They're all wearing Tommy Hilfigers, which are not Hilfingers, it turns out. I just had that wrong for all of my life.
Everyone thinks that, Allie. Don't worry. It's like everyone thinks that once in their life of, like,
but they had Tommy the big Hilfiger. Stupid Tommy Hilfiger logo on, like, on their ass.
We cut to. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just kind of doing mouth noises.
Mouth noises. Okay.
I wrote as a note over under on if they clean the mat.
I said no.
They're
not going to. They never do. It's gross. We get.
Oh, and Scott Hall accepts the challenge, even though I thought Scott Hall did last week.
Whatever. Yeah, Scott Hall accepts the challenge. I forgot this was also where, like, I think he yells at Austin a bit, and the way he's framed makes it look like he's about to show Austin his dick.
Oh yeah.
Like,
also, I wanted to write down that Lawler flubbed, which is fine, but I just like writing down silly flubs. That they have to bring a hospital to Stone Cold.
That's not how that works.
Just give me the wheel. Sir, this is a hospital.
Drive the entire medical facility to Austin.
Yes.
I think we've talked about this before on Wrassleboys, but I feel like we should reiterate if we haven't, or if we have.
They are not allowed to say hospital.
And I think our theory is that if they say hospital, people will look up, like, hospitals in the area and, like,
especially because it's live TV on Raw.
Especially live TV, yeah.
So they'll like people who are marked still will, like, just be like, oh, I gotta check. I gotta see if Stone Cold's okay.
We gotta get Stone Cold back.
We've gotta get Stone Cold back.
I don't know why I thought of that. The way you said it just made me think of that cartoon.
Wow, we gotta get Stone Cold back.
We have our next match.
Speaking of complete juxtapositions, Scotty 2 Hotty and not Brian Lawler make their entrance.
Scotty 2 Hotty and Albert coming out to the ring for a tag team match.
Big Bapu round. I don't know what they're saying in that fucking song.
Big Bapu,
that was interesting.
I will make you understand. Out comes Test, and he says, well, usually I'd be tagging with Booker T right now.
Who got punched like 3 times.
And it's just like, why isn't Booker T your partner right now?
Well, I found the perfect partner. Haha.
Get it?
Get it?
Get it?
Get it?
Get it?
The partner's Mr. Perfect. Get it?
Get it?
Get it?
Get it?
Get it?
I want, like, that would be my fucking way of, like, doing a promo. If I make a joke and then
if they don't pop for my joke, you'll just say "get it" over and over again until they fucking laugh or leave
or boo. But yeah, Mr. Perfect comes out to be Test's partner. So now I just feel like the booking is kind of backwards, and I'm usually one for, like, a little variety and a little mix-up, so you don't have, like, the same guys wrestle over and over again.
Yeah.
But why didn't Mr. Perfect wrestle Stone Cold? And then Scotty, Johnny, Albert wrestle Test and Booker T?
That makes more sense to me.
Makes more
It's not
sense.
like it's not like they're using Mr. Perfect in any storyline right now. He's just
Besides
kind of
the
a
fact that
guy
he
who's
has-
a dick.
He has beef with Stone Cold, so it makes sense that he'd want to wrestle him again.
Yeah.
You know, he gets beaten up a little bit, then he makes a run for it because the fucking NWO kick his ass, or the NWO kicked Austin's ass. And then you just have Test and Booker T fight another tag team.
Anyway, it's a decent but short match. Perfect tries the perfect plex on Albert. That doesn't fucking work. The commentary wonders how big Albert's head is. And then we hear the referee really loudly proclaim that there's 2 minutes left in this match.
It's so loud that the closed caption picks it up.
You talk too much, man. You never should.
Legitimately, it's on the network's closed caption. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Like I'm looking at it, it's like, wait, why is it saying 2 minutes? Oh my god, that's the match time. And yes,
it ended in 2 minutes.
It ended in 2 minutes after
they pretended to be a train. And also, how do you make the worm Texasier?
I don't know.
Anyway,
by doing it in Texas.
Mr. Perfect hits the perfect plex.
The perfect plex.
And I believe they get the win, but Albert's pissed.
Albert's pissed, and he starts beating up on Perfect. Then Tess comes in and hits his big boot.
He whips the big boot and then hits it after like a little bit.
I think he whiffed the big boot in the match, but in the post match he hits it.
Yeah, and he fucking I think it was Albert.
He nails Albert with the big boot.
I love that big boot.
It's so good.
In comes Rikishi from the right again.
Yeah.
And Mr. Perfect eats some ass.
Mr. Perfect eats ass.
He didn't have the towel.
He didn't have the towel. He didn't bring the towel this time.
No, he had the towel, but he lost it.
He should have kept the towel. He should have been prepared.
And then Rikishi and Scotty 2 Hottie hug. I wanted them to dance because Rikishi's theme was playing. And every time Rikishi's theme's playing, you must teleport a fedora under your head and dance.
Yes. We are looking fly today.
We look fly today.
And Albert just kind of stood awkwardly while Scotty and Rikishi hug.
Yeah, you guys are... Yeah.
I tagged Rikishi and Albert, honestly.
You know, I like Albert. And that's a weird statement because he's not the best wrestler, but I always feel like he's doing everything he can to make sure that like he's getting his gimmick the best he can do.
He's committed. He is willing to commit to any gimmick you give him.
Even if he's like a pierced penis or a Japanese man, but not really, or if he's a big dancey boy, or if he's big serious train man, he always tries to just go for it as hard as he fucking can, and I appreciate that.
I think he genuinely loves the business, so he is willing to commit to it. Yeah. This is a job he loves.
So yeah, props to Albert.
Props to Albert. Big dude.
I don't think he won the underrated, but props to Albert. Anyway.
There's a lot of underrated people on these shows tonight.
Yeah.
And now we cut to more Jonathan Coachman abuse.
Yeah, just Kurt Angle doesn't even want to bother hearing what he says, and he cuts a promo where I love the fact Angle doesn't curse. I think love that's great.
Yeah, he says HE double hockey says, I'm like, oh my god, that is so
fucking
it's so cheesy.
Fucking dork.
He's such a dork, and I love it. Because it's like he's a dork in his mannerisms, but when you get him in the ring, he just murders people with suplexes, and it's great.
He's a great fucking wrestler too, so he can afford to be goofy because as soon as he's in the ring, he just fucking goes. And it's like, what are you gonna tell him?
What are you gonna tell him?
Are you gonna tell him not to act like that? He can suplex you.
Yeah, no, I don't want to mess with Kurt Angle. No, thank you. But yeah, he's going after Triple H. They got a steel cage match tonight for the main event.
Oh yeah, because it's Fan Appreciation Night.
It's Fan Appreciation Night.
That was the other thing Vince McMahon announced. Where am I?
Goldust?
Oh, yes, Goldust promo where he spent half of it squatting for some reason.
He was squatting in front of Lillian Garcia, who was like just interviewing him about...
In the ring.
In the ring. It's an in-ring interview, too. Where they're talking about just like him using the forgotten 24/7 rule. They acknowledge that they forgot the rule, and also Goldust explains what we kind of thought was the case.
don't forget Clint Eastwood, Unforgiven, 1992.
Unforgiven, 1992. I love that he does that. That's not something that he did a lot in like modern WWE.
No, I liked that part though. I liked him being a movie buff. That fit.
That fit.
Oh yeah, that was one of the things we noticed. That whoops continuity. Even though we shit on the bad continuity sometimes, whoops continuity happened. The 24/7 rule was always in effect. Just no one wanted to fuck with the Undertaker.
It was exactly as we had thought. So you know what? Props to WWE on that.
Hey, you remembered a thing. Congratulations.
You remembered a thing and explained it well. You did basic writing.
Yeah, that was writing. You did writing.
Yeah, do more of that, just in general.
Anyway, out of nowhere, here comes Taz and referee Jacqueline, even though she's been gone for a month.
Right? So she's back.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of almost forgot, but I know you'd occasionally bring her up, so it's like, oh yeah.
Well, I kept complaining that like they kept doing like, oh, she's getting her referee license, and like she was in the background sometimes, and then sometimes she'd be a ref, and then she went away, but now she's back. Just let Jacqueline do things.
And now we begin the. Go ahead.
Also, this is Fire Extinguisher Month because for some reason. Everyone keeps taking out fire extinguishers.
Everyone keeps using fire extinguishers in hardcore matches. So we also begin the second theme, the recurring theme of tonight. Dick-based offense.
Dick-based offense.
Because
Taz kicks an unsuspecting Goldust in the penis. And in response, Goldust kicks Taz in the penis, but only after getting out of the ring and grabbing a trash can and throwing it into the ring and then getting back in the ring and then kicking him in the penis.
Right? Like, why not kick him in the dick, then go get the trash can? You can basically just...
You can multitask, Goldust. It's fine.
Yeah. At least keep to your focus of kicking him in the dick.
Yes. I believe he hits a Taz mission on Goldust, and Goldust grabs a nearby trash can lid, even though they kind of scooted towards it a little bit, but whatever, and nails him with it for the win.
Yep. Goldust keeps the hardcore title.
And you could totally see Goldust's penis.
You could?
Yeah, you could.
I missed that, thankfully.
Yeah.
I only have here in my notes, every new NWO segment makes me sad.
NWO are in the back drinking Stone Cold's beers.
Yeah, they're drinking the Steve Weisers.
And they cut to outside.
I think they're in his locker room as well.
Yeah, they're in his locker room, and they're like, let's stroll. And then everyone walked out.
Leave.
And then JR was like, those are dogs.
Yeah.
Those damn dogs.
We get a Rob Van Dam interview, which is very nice for Coachman because Rob Van Dam's not an asshole.
Yes, Rob Van Dam isn't an asshole, and his voice is normal.
His voice is nice and just mellow.
He doesn't have that raspiness to it. So he just sounds like some surfer dude, which is weird because he's from Michigan.
Well, he's a big stoner, so...
It's like, hey, Coachman, I like Rob Van Dam too. I like watching him on TV.
Then Lance Storm comes out and says, you got lucky on heat. And I'd sure love to know how Rob Van Dam got lucky at heat.
But it's
Heat. Not on the network.
Release Heat.
You only have like 2 or 3 heats on there. I want more.
More heat.
And I want velocity.
And velocity. That hasn't happened yet. That's like 03.
I will draw the line at Metal and Jacked. You can keep those in the vaults, but
and Shotguns Saturday Night or whatever it's called. Actually,
Shotgun Saturday Night at least would be interesting. Because that was like when they were doing it live and shit, and like Triple H's hair getting tombstoned on an escalator. At least there'd be interesting shit on Shotgun for a bit, for like the first week. I think we cut to like...
Lance Storm gently slaps RVD. And then RVD just goes, okay.
I'll wrestle you.
We'll wrestle.
He doesn't I remember that was a thing, this was a thing that I think RVD also talked about in one of his shoot interviews, where it's like, there was like this constant attempt to get RVD to play angry, and it's just, that's not him.
He can't. I do not think you can make Rob Van Dam mad. I swear to God, he has so much. He has so much THC in his brain, in his blood, that I do not think he can get angry.
Yeah, Like, he's a dude who's very zen in his life. So it's like, yeah, getting him angry doesn't work. And if he does get angry, he's just constantly hot for like the rest of the day. So it's not a good idea.
So Lawler is pretending to be concerned about Christian.
Yeah. I remember, like, he said, like DDP's trying to get him to see the light at the end of the tunnel or something. Or, like, trying to get him to see the light.
Yeah, I was trying to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and then Lawler comments, I just hope that light at the end of the tunnel isn't a train.
Yeah, an oncoming train, and we were just like, Jesus Christ, what?
I'm worried about Christian. I hope he doesn't kill himself.
God, and I thought I was the only one to make tasteless suicide jokes.
I hope he doesn't just shoot himself in his apartment.
Oh, Jesus. Holy fuck. He's gonna kill Justin Roberts.
Anyway,
was it Roberts? It was Josh Matthews. Fucking damn it.
Yeah.
I am ruining that fucking Tim White reference every time.
So DDP is trying to console Christian and show him that he's working very hard on his brand new smile, which looks like he... How do you describe that smile he made?
That's how I describe it. Just give it an auditory sound. It's like
just say the words "my retainer," and that's that smile.
Yeah,
he has.
Yeah. It's definitely like he's sucking on his retainer.
Yes.
I don't know if
he thinks he looks like an idiot.
Yes,
but DDP gives him the mantra: "I like me.
I like me.
I'm a good person. I'm a slap your titties, really good person."
I'm a really good person. And then Christian gets a call during this, and it's like they're like, I guess it's some sort of hospital administration, because they're calling about his grandma being on life support.
I think it's his auntie.
I think he said either his aunt or his grandma. I think he said granny, but yeah. And he's like, yeah, whatever, pull the plug. I'm getting a lot of money off that.
I'm getting the inheritance. And then DDP's like, wait, hold what?
Whoa. Okay, we gotta go back. We gotta go back a step.
We gotta go back a step, because what the fuck?
Do we have another...
One of the constant things this NWO angle is Hulk Hogan trying to do spin-offs of other people's catchphrases, and they suck.
Yeah.
It's like, you better bow down when the NWO's around, brother. Hall 317 says bow down to Scott Hall.
Yeah, it is horrible. I forgot what all I have on my notes is just, this is depressing, because I was hating every time the NWO were on screen.
The problem is the NWO are in two angles right now, but if either of them are in an angle, all three of them are in the angle.
It's just... We'll talk about how this should have been.
You see so much.
You see so much, and they're not doing anything of importance.
They walk in the back and they find a staffer with a Stone Cold shirt, and they beat him up and tear the shirt off his chest.
And they bury him under milk crates.
And then they dump milk crates on him.
It's just, every time they come on, I'm just like, oh my God, kill me now. I hate this.
So, at WWF New York, Godfather's fucking... I mean,
he's dancing. Having trouble. He's having trouble with his
dancing.
business.
He's dancing, but Jerry Lawler starts talking about how his business is not financially solvent.
Well, maybe if you properly hooked up your fucking phone number so I could call and get an escort, Godfather.
Godfather, your escort business would go great if you hooked up your fucking phone. Hook your phone line.
I have been calling you for weeks trying to get one, and I've got nothing.
We called on the show.
We called on the show, and it led to nowhere.
So there's a thing they're advertising on TNN called Divas Sex on the Beach.
Oh my God.
I don't know what the fuck it is. It's probably Stacy Keibler in a bikini on a beach or some shit. I don't know.
I'll look it up, but it's like, oh my God. Okay, let's see. I'm finding an IMDb.
It's like the Sex on the Beach is a drink, and it's sex.
It's a beach photo shoot.
And they televised it?
and they televised it.
Is this for adults or children?
I don't. Great question. I'll read you off the list.
I feel
of
like
people
WWE is specifically like Ruthless Aggression / Late Attitude Era WWE is the only one with the man-children demographic.
Really, just.
And then, like, Spike TV also appealed to the man-children demographic, which guess what they moved from TNN to back in the day? Spike.
Spike TV, yeah.
Yeah, man-children demographic. It's a real thing. It's people who watch the fucking Man Show and, like...
Didn't Spike, like, when they rebranded, like, they were like, we're the channel for men... Like Stripperella, Ren and Stimpy, adult cartoon show.
Yeah, like, wrestling where everyone just shows their tits at you. Yeah.
It's the gaudiest nonsense. And then all they had left was like Impact and Cops reruns.
It was like Impact and Cops reruns, yeah. Oh, and Mansers. Have you ever fart so hard your balls explode?
Spike TV sucked.
Spike TV sucked.
And it brought down G4 with it because they tried to be like Diet Spike TV.
Oh yeah, they did a pivot.
They did the pivot to like Diet Spike TV where they were like,
and then it was
cheaters.
It was like cheaters. It was I think they also showed Cops. I don't know.
They also showed reruns of Cops. It was bad.
And then it just became reruns of Ninja Warrior, and then they pulled the plug, and it became a horse racing channel. And then G4 came back. Hi, Xavier Woods.
Yeah.
Hope you're killing it, buddy.
Woo! But yeah, well, now speaking of women, we got Jazz versus Trish Stratus.
Why did I write WWF Women's TV?
Women's TV. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's because Lawler said he fucked on the TV.
Oh yes, that's right. He was like, I had sex on TV once. It was really hard. It was hard to stay on.
That sounds like a bad idea. What do you think a TV's used for, Lawler?
I mean, I guess because they still had Calf Road Ray-Tube television, we still didn't get flat screen, so you could still have a bag to it to rest your ass on.
I think rear projection was starting to become a thing, but it's not HD yet. Because that's like 08, 07.
Yeah. This was probably around the time we finally stopped using CRT in our house, except for me with mine.
This match was all right between Trish Stratus and Jazz.
This was an all right match, yeah.
Until they did the spot where they ripped off Trish's bra.
Yeah, and also I feel like Trish's STF, which she was like, where she was mimicking.
Oh yeah, she got STF'd and then she countered with her own STF. But I gotta say, Jazz's STF is like Italian Kiss, and her STF is.
It got a bit sloppy. Like she wasn't able to really hook like.
Especially because Jazz has that kind of big arm, so she's just kind of squeezing you with it, and it looks great on TV.
It didn't look as good for Trish. And,
you notice that like. I am not. I swear to God, I am not accusing anyone of anything. But why doesn't Lawler flirt when there's a black woman in the ring?
We brought this up, I think, last week, and it sticks true. Is that anytime it's like not a white woman, he just isn't interested. And I guess in part there's like at least he's treating her like she's an actual competitor, and with respect. But it also feels kind of like, Jerry, that's a bit racist of you not to at least say.
Look, if you're going to be a pervert that is a pervert to all women.
Be an equal opportunity pervert.
Yes.
You know what? I think like during this match, I just started appreciating Jazz's booty. He did have a nice booty.
Yeah, you tried to get me talking about booty, and I do like booty. That's like my main body part that I like.
But you were too distracted by all the blood.
I was distracted by the fact the fucking mat is smeared in blood.
Right. The match ends in a very weird DQ, which is because like I swear to God. He called for the Jim Corderas, the ref.
I think it was because Trish was so worked up she wouldn't rope break, and they counted to 5, and she got DQ'd.
I swear to God, Jim Corderas counted to 3. He did not count to 5. I didn't hear a 5.
That'll be up to contention because I think he counted till 5, but I can't confirm or deny that.
Yeah. But also, they play Trish's theme at the end of the match. Trish gets DQ'd. Play the theme.
We don't even know why themes play anymore. Sometimes, like, someone will win, their theme will play, and then, like, a post-match beatdown happens, and then the other guy's theme will play.
Right?
And it's like, who's queuing the themes?
God, get your shit together, Kevin Dunn.
Or they'll get DQ'd, and then their theme plays.
We cut to the backstage where Stephanie's... I think she's yelling at Jericho to get her lotion, her pristine...
Oh, no, I think she was first complaining on the phone about her lotion, because, like...
Yeah.
She gets her lotion at Greenwich, Connecticut, instead of Texas, where they are. And, man, they really do like the cheap heat of just saying Texas people are stupid. Did they watch that? Did they watch that episode of SpongeBob?
Oh my god, that probably actually was out. That was actually probably out at that time. So yeah, it's very topical.
What am I? Stupid? No, I'm Texas.
What's the difference?
No, okay.
Okay, but then Triple H comes in with like a box
of her stuff, because they're divorcing, so they have to start giving away 50-50 of everything.
Yeah, because Triple H should get prenup from the shotgun.
So we weren't sure what was in the box at first. It was like there was a power cord hanging out of it, but once he dumped it over, it was like hair curlers and beauty supplies and shit.
So she grabs. Go ahead.
After Triple H tells her that she once again has a giant vagina.
Oh my god!
Like it's like, oh sorry, your box is too big, and it's like giant vagina. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. He said like something like, "Oh yeah, it's a pretty big box," which is appropriate. It's like, oh my god,
stop.
And just
you pumped the brakes so hard on Triple H's return after horrible leg injuries.
Oh, man, just this has definitely been an exploration of why was this feud so despised. And it's like, okay, yeah, I get it. I get why people hated this feud.
I'll be honest. One of the problems is I feel like I don't have anyone to cheer for because, like, yeah, Triple H is being a chud. That kind of just like...
But Chris Jericho's the heel.
What a whore. And it's just like, I can't really cheer for him because I just feel like he's being immature and stupid. But Stephanie's annoying, and Jericho's just trying to keep his title.
Yeah. Maybe Jericho, because despite the fact that he's an obnoxious heel, at least he's entertaining.
Yeah, and I like his very complex ways he wins matches of just like the 7-part Acme plan finishes that he has to do. Yeah. It makes it look like he's either planning ahead or just really fucking lucky.
Yeah. Or shooting from the hip.
I'm just like, oh, I can do this and that will happen and then I can win.
Yeah.
But I like that.
Stephanie like excitedly grabs like a bottle of her lotion. She just starts smearing it all over herself.
And they just lotion. Lotion sounds here. I don't have any lotion. Got ASMR putting on lotion. No, don't do it. I swear to God, if you have lotion, I'm stop recording right now.
I have Aquaphor.
Aquaphor.
Yes.
Aquaphor. Okay.
I need it because I actually have been kind of getting itchy in the hands, like the back of my hands. Anyway, so we cut to Booger Red, as JR calls him, and he calls him
Booger Red several times,
and I fucking hate it. I want it to not.
Is that a reference to something?
I think it's because Mark Calloway is a natural redhead. I don't know what Booger Red specifically is supposed to be a reference to.
I thought he was saying Booker Red at first, and I was like, that's weird.
Booger Red, like a bloody snot.
For some reason, and I do not understand why.
It's a football reference.
Oh, for some reason, just they start mentioning that Undertaker has a hobby of collecting VHS tapes. I don't know why.
Oh, was that? No, that wasn't until next. That was next. That was SmackDown.
Yeah, but he still has the tape of David Flair training.
Oh yes. We're cutting to that. So we cut to like a tape, or we're given the video of like they're in like a WWE gym or a WF gym.
Yeah, Booker T announces that he has a tape. Oh, he's in the ring. Duh.
Undertaker, yeah.
Yeah, Taker's in the ring,
and
he announces...
Booker Red.
Booker Red, fuck it. Dude, Undertaker was in the ring and he announced that he had a film to show and that was on the Titantron. We're at like a training facility with Tom Pritchard.
The Dr. Style. The good Pritchard.
The good Pritchard. And David Flair.
David Flair just doing arm drags.
Did you know he's only 23 when this episode came out?
He was only 23.
And that was after his entire WCW run.
And he still wasn't good.
He's 23. Give him a break.
Yeah.
Talk about not being ready for TV. I would have just...
At least he's learning now.
I would just put him on fucking Heat forever until he's okay.
They're prepping him for Tough Enough Free. But yeah, Undertaker busts in and just starts attacking everyone. He shoves Pritchard and tells him to back off.
You thought he shouted, fuck off, Pritchard.
I was like, oh my God, did he just say that? No. Then the captain came up, back off. Pritchard's like, oh, okay. And then he takes David Flair.
And drags him to the bathroom.
Drags him to the shower.
Yes.
Like, it just starts beating him up. But this got, like, very uncomfortable for me.
You know, when he started, when Undertaker threw David into like one of the shower stalls and sat with him, I legitimately started referencing, "Don't get the broom, don't get the broom."
Oh God!
Anyone who's watched the funny seasons of 13 Reasons Why,
when it gets real bad,
when it gets real bad, yeah, this was so uncomfortable, and like not the uncomfortable they want, where it's like, oh. Fucking Undertaker's a sicko, fucking psychopath. No, I just think he's a pervert.
Yes, because he says this quote, "I told you I wasn't going to take no for an answer." While he's got his arm like wrapped around David in a shower with a cameraman recording this.
Vaguely cuddling.
Like,
and then
cuddling.
Undertaker's just like, I wonder what your little brother's doing. And
oh, yeah, he said, like, don't you have a little brother? I was like, oh, God, no.
Too far.
And then, no, wait, you have a sister, don't you? Oh, God, no.
Oh, Jesus.
I just remembered, we forgot when during the Stone Cold beatdown, JR, with the poor wording of the night, Austin is getting violated. This is just a bad night of wording.
This is the week of oddly sexual wrestling.
Like, this is the uncomfortable part of the subtle homoeroticism of professional wrestling, where it toes the line so much that you think somebody's probably going to get, like, violated. And the sad thing is, it's wrestling. There's a good chance that could happen on the show.
So, welcome to Good Wrestling featuring RVD and Lance Storm.
Yes. We cut away from the uncomfortableness of that to RVD versus Lance Storm, where that's when we saw the cotton candy guy. That dude's getting that cotton candy. I want some.
Cotton candy's good until you get it, weirdly.
I think it's nice when it's like, it's like a flavor dissolving in your mouth.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's a certain amount of cotton candy I could tolerate.
I guess so, yeah, because that is just pure sugar in your mouth.
Yes, especially when it starts dissolving. So yeah, this match is good. They set up a
good match.
They set up a really quick angle of like RVD tweaking his leg and Lance Storm trying to like hurt his leg so he wins.
Oh yeah, Van Dam.
An attempt to get the Lance Storm RVD taunt, even though there's like only 2 fucking syllables in that.
I managed to think of a solution for that, which is Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
That's where I live.
I don't know why he didn't do that. That would have been wonderful. I would have popped so hard. RVD very early on had a stored finisher, so he he hit some OMG moment.
He did the OMG moment of like you kind of hang him on the barricade and then you do like a spin kick off of the fucking or do like a springboard spin kick. But yeah, that was good. It was only like 5 minutes, but it was
only 5 minutes, but it felt longer to us.
I remember so much of it.
Yeah, and it was paced so nicely. The psychology was good.
That was a perfect like we're in the mid card match.
Yeah, I was happy with that. And then they cut to NWO because I need to stop being happy.
Now they're just drinking coffee.
They're drinking coffee, and like a guy comes by and he's like, "I'm here to check the coffee."
I'm here to check the coffee.
And they open up the coffee pot, and then they shove his face in it.
Yeah, and he just starts screaming in pain, and he like kind of rolls off screen screaming in horrible pain. And then they start playing rock paper scissors on who gets to wrestle tonight.
And Scott Hall wins. Scott Hall wins. Yeah. And then we have to, of course, fucking pull up the fucking rap sheet. Scott, you're on the rap sheet again.
Stop burning people.
Stop attacking people with coffee. For the love of God. We've
already covered what throwing hot coffee on someone is, even though the laws might be slightly different in Texas, because I believe that was somewhere in the.
That was somewhere else.
That was in like New England.
Yeah. But
that doesn't mean like, you go into jail, Scott. You on the rap sheet. Exactly. And I'm going to try and stop it before it plays the second one.
And also we're going to be very careful with that again.
I'm being very careful with my music bot, okay?
Yes.
We played David Flair and we played the Dink Dink.
Yeah. And then I think, do we have anything between this NWO segment and the next?
I recall just me shitting on Lawler's commentary style of him just sort of being this contrarian, kind of like, I believe everything heels tell me, that I summed up in, I like bad guy, titties.
Yeah. Yeah, so they cut like briefly to the commentary table. I guess they're going to announce that a match is happening.
There's like a women's thing coming up later. Oh yeah, the fucking Sex on the Beach. Duh.
Okay, they're hyping Sex on the Beach, which I have the cash sheet for that.
Oh.
It starred Sarah Calloway.
Oh.
Lita.
Uh-huh.
Molly Holly.
Uh-huh.
Jacqueline. Ivory. Terry Reynolds. Trish. Charmel.
That was before she married. That was before she married Booker T. And Tori. Okay, so it's just kind of no Stacy. Weirdly.
No Stacy. Weirdly.
I guess she's busy.
And you'd think they'd want to get Stacy for that
because King won't shut the fuck up about her.
Bikini and long ass legs. Like, come on, legs for days. Anyway, so after that, they cut back. And they're now in their locker room. The NWO are in their locker room.
They have a bingo machine?
And they got a bingo tumbler. Where did they find that in, like, the under a minute where, like, King and...
Like, they walked off.
Or King and JR were talking.
They walked off. King was like, titties. And JR was like, sauce it. And then it cuts back to the NWO, and they just have the entire roster in a bingo tumbler.
Like they got the fucking Royal Rumble tumbler or something.
The Royal Tumbler, as I like to call
it. And they said, they spin the balls and they fucking pull one out and they're like, ooh, ha, ha, ha. Yeah, Scott, you're wrestling this guy.
And then Scott Hall's like, oh, that guy. And then he just leaves and the match starts.
And then Scott Hall, like the NWO come out and then they they kind of just stand around, and then the opponent comes out, and it's Spike Dudley
with a Titantron that I actually really like. It's like a rotoscoped sketch of Spike Dudley doing things,
like doing a pose and shit and everything.
Yeah. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. So first off, who authorized this match?
I don't know. Vince maybe because he's on their side.
Yeah, and it is Fan Appreciation Night.
So Scott Hall needs to beat up a guy because he's wrestling Stone Cold, and people need to know that he is a wrestler in case you're like smooth-brained and you don't know anybody in the WCW roster.
In case you forgot who Razor Ramon was.
Yes, and Scott Hall needs to beat up a guy, and Spike Dudley is that guy. He's good at getting his ass kicked in a very convincing way.
He made his money doing that, and I respect that shit.
He retired before the other two Dudleys on his fucking team.
Yeah.
Mostly because, he made his money doing that and he got out.
Yeah, good on Spike Dudley. So this is just a protracted beatdown, continuing the dick-based offense as Spike headbutts himself into Scott Hall's penis.
Yes.
And then he tries for like a Dudley dog, but Scott catches him and just like crotches him on the rope.
Lots of penis.
And so lots of dick-based offense, and it will continue. And then Scott Hall, we got to talk about the fact that we had to respect the fact that Scott Hall invented the T-pose.
Motherfucker invented the T-pose, and I didn't realize it. Like
he always T-poses.
I saw Hulk Hogan. I saw Hulk Hogan like do the T-pose as a way to like let Hall know that, you know, do the Razor's Edge, but that's a fucking T-pose.
He does the T-pose every time he hits the Razor's Edge.
You know how he does that little kind of like shuffle thing every time he enters down the ramp? I don't want people to do that when they remember Scott Hall. I want them to T-pose.
T-pose, man.
Assert dominance.
Assert your dominance like Scott Hall does. Because no one ever kicks out of the Razor's Edge. And they don't kick out of the Razor's Edge because he T-posed on them first.
Yes, exactly.
And also because he told Bookers he wouldn't do the Razor's Edge if he lost. So, or if he lost, that he didn't do the Razor's Edge.
So, I am going to give this next segment the amount of time they had it on the show. Mark Henry's back! And that's the end of the segment.
Cage lowering music!
What? Oh, cage lowering music, yes.
Oh yeah, also, Scott Hall beat Spike Dudley, as if I needed to really tell people that.
Do we need to tell you that Scott Hall obliterated Spike Dudley?
No. But we get cage lowering music because we're coming up on the main event, and then we cut to Stephanie McMahon covered in fucking hives and shit.
Yeah, she's broken out because Triple H gave her tampered lotion.
So that's some crime right there.
I don't think you can tamper a product and give it to someone, because there was like a bunch of murders with Tylenol back in the day.
Yeah, I think.
So what is the punishment for tampering?
It can depend on the level, I think. Well,
causing an allergic reaction is a very offensive maneuver to do.
I would say that would qualify under serious bodily injury, probably.
Yeah, because and I don't want to reference any certain people, but some people died from allergic reactions like that. Straight up.
You don't want to
Rip Monty.
Monty. But that's different. No one tampered with his products because we're not fucking weirdos who.
No, we're not conspiracy theorists, and we aren't saying Miles and Kerry murdered him to take over the show. That would be insane.
That's not even the actual conspiracy theory, but
I want to be the main character. No, Miles. But don't do it.
It's a serious bodily injury to any individual results. Be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 20 years, or both.
I think Triple H has already accumulated a life sentence at this point.
At this point, yes. So once again, you on the rap sheet. Dun dun.
Dun dun.
Hi, I'm Jason, and this door.
No! What the fuck? What? Oh, you put law order doink doink.
Fuck, I forgot an and.
Now we need to find the video next time. God damn it. Well, Jason, you got a shout out on Wrassleboys.
Hi, Jason. Hi, Jason.
All right.
So Triple H versus Kurt Angle in the steel cage.
Jerry Lawler Jerry Lawler talks about how he's smiling so much and how he should have his smile surgically removed or something. So
I don't want a face.
He wants to have his mouth taken out. Just sew my mouth shut.
This match kind of had a slow start, but to be fair, it's the only properly length match in the entire show.
Yes, and we started talking about why is it so slow paced, and it's like we kind of realized it's because Triple H is such a mark for that
old school fucking NWA territorial wrestling.
Yeah,
where there was only 3 matches on the card, and they want to get their fucking money's worth.
Yeah. And you know what? Given the faster paces of every other match on this card, I can absolutely respect taking it down, winding it down for the main event. Really building a match.
I don't think his match would have dragged as much if all the other matches weren't 3 minutes or less.
Yeah.
Because it just if you went from normal matches to kind of a long match, from quick as shit matches to a kind of long match, it just feels like such a big gap.
Yeah.
That's oh my god, we're crawling through molasses. Like, oh no.
So what we're saying is Triple H wasn't a boring wrestler in 2002. It's just everyone was going too fast. Slow the fuck down.
That doesn't mean like 50-minute matches, but I would say the main event should be like a good half hour. But whatever.
Yeah, this was a good like 15 minutes. And this is where I started kind of realizing the more I listen to JR's like babyface commentary talking about Stephanie McMahon, the more I understand why she abused him like back in like 2005.
That Jezebel.
He is straight up just calling her a slut.
That witch.
What was the phrase he kept coming back to?
I think it was Jezebel.
It was probably Jezebel, but it's like he's just straight up like calling her a slut the entire time. And it's like, oh my god! I imagine like anytime she wanted to, like, she would start beating on him in 2005. She just replayed this commentary in like her headphones to remind her, yeah, fuck this guy.
We were spending half of this match making our stupid, confused Teddy Long joke.
Because it's like Teddy Long's outside, like the referee outside holding like
he's got the lock for the door. He's got the lock for the door, yeah.
So like Kurt Angle would come up and he's like, "What are you doing? You can't go through the door, player.
You can't go through the door, player. The door's locked. Hold on, let me unlock that door for you, player. Oh wait, you're leaving? Oh, guess I'll lock the door again."
Yeah, it was just like Teddy Long being very like
he's very picky when it comes to opening that fucking door.
Yeah. We're like, why are you coming near the door? Like, just sort of like that. Or, oh my god, my favorite fucking joke. You can only go through the door if you're down with the brown.
Oh my god, no.
I hope we get fucking Rodney Mack in 2002.
I think Rodney Mack is 2003. I might be wrong.
Yeah, because that was when the 5-minute white boy challenge, and like I think that they did that just to build up Goldberg squashing him. It's a shame. I want to see Rodney Mack.
I'm trying to remember a lot of this match. A lot of it was good, but I didn't write as many notes about how it being good.
I think Triple H also gets kicked in the dick.
JR doesn't know what a salve is, or a salve, whatever.
Salve, yeah. Oh yeah, like JR and King were trying to exchange, because King was talking about like how Stephanie McMahon needs a salve because she got covered in the shit lotion.
JR was like, a salve? What the hell?
It was so weird.
Yeah.
Oh god, I made it. When fucking Triple H kicked, or when Kurt Angle kicked Triple H in the dick, I said, Stephanie McMahon backstage, man, I'm impressed Kurt Angle hit such a small target.
What a tiny dick. And then they start talking about the giant vagina again.
I don't think they actually did that. I think... No, did they?
Yeah, they commented on it. Or they started talking about the Grand Canyon, which is their allegory for the vagina and how big the giant vagina is. Haha, funny, giant vagina.
Triple H tries to climb out, and Kurt like drags him down, and
we see his ass.
He grabs the ties. We almost saw his ass. We got very close to seeing. It's
time to see my ass.
And then Stephanie McMahon comes down and just shoves Teddy Long aside and knocks him out.
Fuck you, Teddy. Huh?
No, I'm knocked out now.
Oh no, I can't. Now I can't lock and unlock that door.
What are you doing, Stephanie? Why are you going near that door? Even while Teddy Long was out on a ref bump, we were still making like Teddy Long talking about the door jokes.
I don't even know why it's funny. It's just such a stupid thing.
Like, just because Stephanie broke the lock at one point, it's like, oh man, you broke the lock on the door. Now it's not going to close right.
Yeah, you're not going to close it right, player.
Just I imagine just Teddy Long actually saying this during the show.
Stephanie interferes with the rest of the match. She is once again a Jezebel. I heard something about 2 trucks, and then we started making Neil Cesariga jokes.
Because, like, at one point, like, they both slammed into each other, and it was like,
that's like 2 trucks colliding, King.
And we went like, that's like 2 trucks having sex. 2 trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily reflex, King.
By God.
By God.
Kurt Angle wins after a lot of bullshit, but that's fine.
There was at least 2 points where it's like, one time, like, Steph opened the door, and then, like, Kurt wanted to go out, and she was like, no, go back in and beat up Triple H some more. And then he does it again. Like he goes back on his own volition to beat up Triple H more.
Even though, like, he wants to win, right?
Like, fucking get out of the cage, step down onto the floor, ding, 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 Kurt Angle wins, go back in, beat up Triple H some more.
Yeah, fuck it.
It's like the Goldust thing, only worse. Like
But
with the Goldust.
Yeah, I think that's how they close Raw, with, like, Stephanie and Angle celebrating up the ramp.
Yeah, then they beat Triple H, and it's like, haha.
Haha, we did it.
Yeah.
My skin hurts. Ah.
But you know what? It's a good match.
Yeah, it was good.
And it was a good finish.
match.
I'm glad we had a main event I don't object to.
Yeah, like, it's very interesting, and I like cage matches.
It was very engaging. You got two really good workers in the match. And yeah, I'm gonna say it, Triple H, even at this point, was still pretty good.
Even though I hate his angles.
I hate his storylines, but he can at least deliver the goods. And now we come to SmackDown, which is from the Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah, no Shawn Michaels.
Weirdly for a San Antonio show, no Shawn Michaels.
So Ric Flair is just, like, storming backstage to Undertaker's locker room, which is really weird because you think he would have confronted him, like, the other day and not on Raw.
You'd think he'd also confront him when Undertaker got into the building.
Yeah.
It's the sort of.
But he waited until SmackDown started, so.
Yeah, and then he's pounding on the door, and Undertaker, the fucking pervert he is watching a recording of him beating up David Flair in the shower.
Yes. And then they started mentioning that Undertaker is collecting VHS tapes for some reason. Because they keep doing this spot of him watching footage of stuff.
Yes, and like that started the weird joke of him being like a Mike Stoklasa type.
This is Red Letter Media just collecting bad movies on VHS tapes.
And we did the worst joke ever of, I did it all for the Nuki.
The Nuki.
The Nuki.
You can take that cookie and stick it in your VHS player because it's better than anything that I got right here.
And then, like, we get the intro, and then Undertaker goes down to the ring, and he says, like, I guess, like, oh yeah, you play your video or whatever. Where I put down, pay your college editor $200 to put this in a video.
Well, Ric Flair takes a whole week to react to his son being beat up, and I think he comes out to the ring first.
Yeah.
Because Ric Flair starts punching himself in the fucking head.
Oh yeah, that was like, he starts knuckling himself in the head to try and like break
I think he has like
cut.
I think he has an old cut from like a couple weeks ago, and he's trying to break it back open, but it doesn't work. Then the Undertaker comes out, and he's like, Rick, chill the fuck out, dude.
Oh yeah, also it was David Flair's birthday.
Yes, he turned 23.
He turned 23 that week. And got the worst possible Christmas present or birthday present you could get from the Undertaker.
1-on-1 with Undertaker in the shower.
Yes. I'm not repeating that joke on my notes.
Brooms. Anyway.
Oh my god.
Undertaker's like, chill the fuck out, Flair. This isn't fun anymore. Actually, fuck WrestleMania.
Fuck this. I don't want to wrestle you anymore.
We're not gonna wrestle. Fuck it. I don't care.
I also noted that Ric Flair can't fit on a trophy case.
Yes.
So that's also great.
But if you still want to wrestle, I'll get back to you. Fuck it.
Oh my god. This feud sucks.
Flair's like, fuck you.
Yeah, Flair's riled up, and Undertaker's like, no, I don't want to wrestle you.
Well, they're trying to up the stakes because it's to make it more personal, but this feud started out still kind of fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I think if I remember, it was just because of Maven.
Respect and Maven.
Respect and Maven, and then they just switched it to Flair?
Yeah. Because he already had the match with The Rock.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we cut to backstage in the hallway. They're still splitting like
Triple H is chewing gum.
Triple H is chewing gum. And I want my dog.
Yeah,
they're arguing over like
fruit.
Oh yeah, Stephanie gets the Corvette, but Triple H wants the pet dog.
And he mentions that she doesn't even like feed the dog or anything, so why can't he have his dog, which is kind of weird.
What's fucking bothering me is that throughout the show, like, we learned the dog's name is Lucy, but every time they like refer to like Lucy, they use it as the pronoun. So it's like, man, you really do not give a shit about this dog.
My cat Oliver, who is a small gremlin, terrible monster cat, I call him he because he's a boy and he's Oliver and he's a stupid cat.
He's a stupid baby.
He's a stupid baby who bites you when he wants to tell you he likes you. He's like, yum, 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 I love you. And
it's like,
it's like, stop fucking biting me, you little weirdo. I don't.
But, you know, it's like, you care more about your cat, who is an asshole, than Triple H cares about this dog.
That he wants back, but will not call it she or her.
Yeah.
It's not an inanimate object, it's his dog.
Continuing the feeling of like, man, I don't care for either of you.
Yeah.
Like, you're talking about this dog like it's just like it's the fucking TiVo.
No, I get the TiVo. No. William Regal's back on commentary.
William Regal's back on commentary.
Yes, because he's good at it.
And he's scouting Rob Van Dam, you know, keeping an eye on him because, like, you know, I don't want to mess up when we have a match at WrestleMania. We got a hardcore title match, Rob Van Dam versus Goldust,
which I'm okay with. I love that Goldust has golden weapons.
Okay, yes, we got to talk about the gold-colored plunder, but first, fucking Regal goes off about how this isn't following Marquess of Queensberry rules or whatever. But it's like, first off, Regal, those are for boxing. Secondly, this is a hardcore match. Everything is legal under hardcore rules. So what are you going on about?
Fun fact about Marquess of Queensberry rules: it is the predecessor to the current WBA rules. The major difference being there weren't a limit to how many rounds you could have.
So you could just go on forever.
Yeah, you boxed until some guy was down and out.
Or dead.
So, like, you could see these old-timey pictures of, like, people boxing before the, like, prize ring rules happened. And just, before, like the whole mat is covered in blood, like 7 Stone Colds happened.
And they're like Eddie Guerrero versus JBL, or just anyone wrestling JBL levels of bloody. But yes, gold-colored weapons.
Gold chair, gold trash can.
Gold chair and a gold trash can. And I'm like, oh my god, that's fucking charming. I love it.
Yes, that is adorable.
And Lawler says he won't spoil the fucking Golden Globe nominations, and we're just like, no, tell us, Jerry. I want to know.
Spill that tea.
Spill that tea. It would have been useful because we do not have a 2000 alert for this week.
Yeah, there was nothing that we haven't seen. It's like, you know, Xbox and fucking lug shoes.
I remember one time they were like doing the fucking sponsors, and you were trying to guess what the third sponsor was going to be.
Oh yeah, because they announced the first 2 sponsors. It was like the anti-smoking one and something else. And then I was just like, and fuck, what did I guess?
You tried to guess something else, and I think you might have guessed.
I was like, and Blockbuster, and it was Xbox,
and it was Xbox. They might have been Stacker 2.
There was definitely, it was like Stacker 2, stop smoking.
Xbox, and Xbox. It was like, okay,
stop smoking the Xbox.
We don't even have like a terrible movie for them to be plug.
I like my tangents about shit movies.
I know. I love that theme, and I really want that to come back for March.
So Regal cheats and nails Rob Van Dam with the William Regal 3 and Knuckles to help Goldust win.
Yeah, he hits him with the brass knuckles, and Cole starts complaining, or he starts talking about like, oh, look at William Regal. He kind of reaches into a pocket, and it's like, Cole, what the fuck does it matter?
Have you watched every fucking week? And also, it's a hardcore match.
It's a hardcore match. Shut the fuck up. Everything goes. This can happen legally. But yeah, Goldust wins after a brass knuckle shot. It was weird that Regal tried to hide it because it's like, you know, he could just put him on and just wham. But a good match otherwise. You know, fun hardcore match.
There is actually more than one song that is the theme song of WrestleMania. It's not only Drowning Pool, it's Saliva.
Oh my God. So we were both kind of right in the end.
We were both right.
Yes. We get a recap of the NWO. I got up during this.
Yeah, he went to get yogurt because his stomach is shitty. And then
my stomach had been pretty bad. But actually it's been getting better. So that's good. But like as soon as I came back, Scott Hall was T-posing on Spike Dudley. So
yes.
It's like, all right.
Wait, that was Raw.
Yeah, but it was a recap of everything.
Okay, yeah. Now I remember. Sorry. Yeah. And then we cut to Stephanie, who has one of Triple H's robes from Killer Kowalski.
Yeah, like I think it was like one of his like John Paul Levesque robes, probably.
Yeah.
Or Terra Rising, if Terra Rising wore robes.
I loved those old pictures of Triple H where he has like the feathered ABBA hair.
Oh my God,
it's great.
But for a brief moment, the Jericho-Stephanie partnership is nice and like wonderful, and it's like they're being cocky. Like Jericho's putting on the robe, and he's smiling, he's holding the belts, and it's like, yeah, I'm the champion. It's like, fuck yeah, this is what I liked about this. This is what I like, and it's gonna go away again.
I think Jericho just wears that for his match later, or something.
Yeah, he wears that for his next match. But before that, we got Booker T versus Tajiri. So they did remember the shampoo bit.
Well, they didn't do any bits about it. They just had Booker T fight Tajiri because he said he looked like buckwheat on crack.
Buckwheat on crack. Oh my God. They bring that up on the commentary too.
Yeah, so they kept fucking saying it.
Oh my God. We can't get away from buckwheat on crack, even though we really want to. But all I have written down here is good match. Like, I don't remember.
There was nothing wrong with it, but we also kind of zoned out a little.
Yeah. And that's a shame, too, because Booker T and Tajiri are both good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there was a run-in by Edge.
Yeah, Edge ran in late, like, after the match to save Tajiri from a beatdown. And, we're building up to that feud in the most slapdash way. Why is Edge in this feud and not fighting for the IC title?
That's a good question. I don't know why he stopped feuding with William Regal.
It really feels like they should have paid that off at WrestleMania.
You know, maybe it's just because I'm used to the other kind of feud where you trade wins on pay-per-views, then you start with a rubber match and it lasts about 3-4 months maybe. But this feud between William Regal and Edge, we've witnessed the birth and the death of it, and it's only been like a month.
Yeah. We get a recap of the build for Hogan Rock with just like these generic ass guitar chords playing over it.
Yep.
Like it was almost dun, 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 levels of just like, wow, this is forgettable.
The bad Ric Flair theme.
Bad Ric Flair recap theme.
I think The Rock comes out and he just says he wants Hogan.
Yeah, and basically.
And the NWO come out, and every time they switched off the black and white, like the black and white effect with the cut frame rate, the lights are fucking like full on flashing in my fucking eyes.
Right, like I think you caught the tail end of it, but I was noticing like, oh my God, like because when they do like the NWO entrance, like they put it in grayscale and they cut the frame rate.
And they got out the strobe light, yeah.
Yeah, but that strobe light is hitting because they'll cut to The Rock kind of reacting, and it's just like, bah, 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 like, oh my God, Jesus Christ. So Edge didn't give us the seizure this week. We were doing so well at that.
So The Rock comes out and asks to be please taken advantage of.
Take advantage of The Rock. Well, it was take advantage of a weakened Rock, but still, like, I put down take advantage of The Rock, an actual quote from the wrestling show.
And then The Rock said the penis thing.
Yes.
He said penis and balls.
Yeah, something about how Hogan has a small dick, which is weird because Terry Bollea has a small penis.
But Hulk Hogan has a big fat cock.
I remember Jerry Lawler
big fat
talking
American
about
cock.
How he got a call from someone who didn't say who they were, and how they said like, "Oh yeah, like The Rock's not nearly as healthy as he claims he is." And I put down the quote, and then I said, "What the hell are you? And how did you get my number?"
The Rock isn't sure who you are.
Oh, that was Jerry Lawler getting a random phone call from
Oh.
some rumor spinner, I guess. But it's
I'm
just
on
like,
the dirt sheets.
how did you get Jerry Lawler's number? Who are you?
The NWO will eventually come out, and they're still wearing their Tommy Hill figures, which we've pointed out. He kind of looks like Harrison Ford and Bret Hart at the same time.
Yeah, Tommy Hilfiger looks like a weird fusion of Harrison Ford and Bret Hart. If you've ever looked at him.
And I realized that I don't think Nash has a feud for Mania.
Yes, this is where I want to talk about like how this match should have been, or how Mania should have been booked. It shouldn't have been two separate like NWO feuds. It should have been the NWO versus like a team of like Austin, Rock, and because you know what, fuck it, he's got nothing else to do, Mick Foley. Austin and the Rock and Sock connection versus the NWO.
Like, I know Foley's beat up, but I feel like he'd still at least come back for WrestleMania. I mean, he did later.
He'd be game to take a bump for like Scott Hall or something.
Yeah, I'll bump for Scott Hall. That's fine.
You know, he'll take a power bomb. One.
A power bomb. And then just let me lay there.
Contractually obligated one. One power bomb.
You get one table. You get one table, McMahon.
You get one table. Yeah, they put him through a table. Easy.
Or maybe have them, or like have the feud be like Foley, Rock, and Stone Cold versus the NWO. But before the match happens, just have a backstage beatdown and put Foley through a table, and then it's a 2-on-3 tag match instead.
Yeah,
that would work fine.
That would work great.
And then it's like, what are they gonna do without Mick Foley?
Yeah, and then they fight from underneath, underdog it, and get the win.
They underdog it, get the win. Maybe Foley will come back out and hit someone with a bat,
Yeah, or just like a quick DDT. Or put the mandible claw on Scott Hall. Who knows?
Yeah, just Scott Hall. Or I almost said Scott Hall Sacco. Put a Scott Hall.
He comes back with like an NWO sock and like puts it on Scott Hall.
No. He prints one of those socks, which is just a photo of Scott Hall, and he shoves that Scott Hall sock into Scott Hall's mouth.
Oh my god!
The weirdest fucking gimmick.
Oh my god! That's wonderful.
This sock has your name on it and your entire face.
All right, now we cut to the Hardcore Shopping Network versus the Undertaker.
I still don't know where that team name came from. I feel like it's still like HBF Caveman.
Yeah, it still feels like a Hogan versus Flair thing that we appropriated.
Yes.
But yeah, so it's Al Snow and Maven, or as we call them, the Hardcore Shopping Network.
Versus Taker.
Versus Undertaker. And it's just Undertaker beating up Maven.
Yeah, and sometimes Al Snow, but mostly Maven.
Mostly Maven. And they do a recap of him.
And King, like, insulting Maven the whole time.
Yeah. And we're not listening to it because we just got Tattooed by Mercy Drive playing.
Yeah, if you want the definitive Wrassleboys experience, I highly recommend just playing Tattoo by Mercy Drive over any footage of Maven.
Yes.
And loop it until he's gone.
So they do a replay of of Undertaker hitting a chokeslam on Maven. And during the replay, it's like picture in picture, and Taker's got him locked in the Taker care of business. He taps out.
He taps out mid replay.
Mid replay, he taps out to the Take Care of Business.
And I didn't even know he lost right away until he kind of it came back and he dropped him.
Yeah, and it's like he tapped out during the replay. Like, God, they have fucked this kid over. He is going nowhere after this feud.
No, I think that's it for him. I think it's just heat for life until he's out of the business.
Heat for life. A few more runs with the hardcore title, and then he's out of the business. Poor Maven.
Maven could have at least you said it, but I sort of clarified on it that he would probably go for a mid-card US title run. He'd probably be one of the focal points in Survivor Series, maybe the team match.
He'd be a regular tag team guy. He'd probably have a run with the European title while that's still a thing.
Yeah, once they bring back the US title in 2003, put that on him. Just have him in the middle of the show with his own little feud.
He'd last until 2007, and then they'd release him.
Yeah, and I'd be okay with that.
And then he'd go to TNA, and they'd push him hard.
What's Maven Huffman doing here? Oh my god!
Joey Styles suddenly came to TNA.
No, I was trying to do fucking what's his
Don
name?
West.
Don West.
You got to be kidding me!
You gotta be kidding me!
There you go. All right. Undertaker then cuts a promo after sending Maven off because he wants like Ric Flair to come out and beg for him, but he's pointing like downward, and his hand is situated right near his crotch, so it's definitely. Yeah, it's like Flair needs to come down here, get on his hands and knees, and suck my dick. I will always point out just how weirdly sexual wrestling gets.
Because Taker care of business is a blowjob.
And we now get the next match: Chris Jericho versus Kane.
Oh no! Actually, you sort of missed the fact that just Flair comes out and just starts freaking the fuck out.
Oh yeah, they start fighting, right?
And they start fighting into the crowd, and Chekhov's gun. I actually said that instead of Schrodinger's because I keep getting that wrong.
Schrodinger's fan.
Chekhov's fan gets punched in the face, and then they're like, "Remember that? That'll be a hint for later."
Yeah, basically. I forgot there was the brawl in. Yeah, they brawl out into the crowd, and fucking a fan gets punched by Flair. And then we get to Chris Jericho versus Kane.
Yep, and they also mentioned that the match between Triple H and Angle was like 25 minutes or something.
Yeah, they said that it was 20 minutes, and we just you immediately.
I opened Pro Fight DV, and I'm like, that was clearly like 16 or 15 minutes.
It was 15:34, Cole. Don't try to gaslight us.
Don't gaslight me, Cole. You and your fucking frosted tips and your sweater.
I keep forgetting about frosted tips, Michael Cole. I wish Jerry Lawler's gimmick when he was on SmackDown was anytime they cut to him and Cole at like the table, he's just laughing at Cole's frosted tips.
Yes. You know, I'm not saying he looks great as like the kind of short, skinny guy in a suit that's slightly too big for him. But I think it looks better than I'm wearing a turtleneck and I have frosted tips.
B44 era Michael Cole was just terrible no matter what.
Make you come tonight. Over
my house. Fucking Get Down by B44 is a treasure.
Yes.
All right, so the match starts up. They exchange some stuff, and then either Jericho leaves or gets thrown out of the ring. I think he gets out of the ring himself.
Yes.
And then he points his head get the shit, get the gimmicks, we're leaving.
Oh yeah, he starts losing to Kane, and then he's like, get the shit, we're leaving. Steph, get my shit, get the belt, we're leaving.
Stephanie's grabbing the belt, she's grabbing the robe, and that's really that's great. I love that. And then Kane just starts attacking him.
Just Jericho's like, I had enough of this shit.
Fuck this, we're gone. We're out. That's wonderful. It's the little things that I love about wrestling that they just don't do as much anymore. Of just a heel just deciding, fuck this, I'm not staying. But the match continues for a while. Jericho gets beaten up, and then Kurt Angle comes out.
Kurt Angle come out and he help.
The funny thing is, I think he came out as soon as you were like, why isn't Kane fighting Kurt Angle?
Oh yeah, I was mentioning, why is Kane not fighting Kurt Angle? Because he mentioned he mentioned Kane in his promo the other week.
Yeah.
And this week too, actually. And he just comes out halfway through the match and just gives Kane a kind of awkward angle slam.
But it was like, oh hey, there's Kurt Angle.
I found Kurt Angle.
And then I think the DQ is called or Jericho wins. But I'll assume DQ was probably called because
no, Jericho wins after a lion salt.
Oh, but Jericho wins after a lion salt.
And then Kane beats his ass.
Triple H. No, wait, Triple H comes out. Triple H comes out and starts beating his ass because that's when they get the botch clothesline.
I also mentioned that Kurt Angle's in a sweatshirt and it just makes him look like a very thick-necked boy compared to Kane.
He looks like he looks like an elementary school kid going to gym.
He looks like an elementary school kid going to gym, except he took so much steroids.
Except it's a weirdly steroided elementary school student.
Yeah, it's like, all right, guys, let's play dodgeball. And it's like, No, you can't play dodgeball.
No, you are too big for dodgeball.
What do you mean? I can't just fucking slams a dodgeball into a kid and he just falls over.
Throws the dodgeball at a kid and the kid flies into the wall and it's embedded in it.
Oh god, it's like the fuck you, Windows virus support, I'm busy.
It's like the dodgeball, like the dodgeball game from Ed, Edd and Eddy?
No, it's like the dodgeball game from Hunter x Hunter.
From Hunter x Hunter.
Well, like they start learning the key, or it's called Nen, but it's key. It's key. And they play a dodgeball game to learn how to channel the key into the dodgeball, which increases the force and mass of it. So like this little dodgeball can like blow a fucking hole in the house.
Yeah.
Fun fact, that's one of my inspirations for a villain later in my story I'm writing.
Yeah. All I was just thinking of was the dodgeball episode of Total Drama Island, but no one got embedded in a wall. They had like plexiglass walls.
I never watched Total Drama Island.
I watched the first season, and that's it. Well, Total Drama Island. I kind of watched a bit of action, but it was like, this isn't as good. And then I just stopped watching. But yeah, the botch clothesline over the rope spot, where it's like Triple H goes to like clothesline Jericho over the ropes.
You know, they want to do that kind of like you clothesline him and he sort of does a half backflip.
Yeah, the 180 as Gorilla Monsoon calls it.
Yeah, and Jericho kind of jumps back, but he kind of like bounces on the ropes a little bit and he starts falling forward again and he has to redo the spot.
Yeah, well, they kind of just shove him out instead. It's like, all right,
get out, fuck you.
Always good to get a reference to a primate torrential storm on a show, even if he's not there.
Exactly.
We get a high package for WWF's tour in Southeast Asia.
You know, they went to Japan. We saw
marked out for the there was like a sign for like SmackDown that they did like a really bad like zoom in zoom out on, but I could still see like the Ukes logo in the corner. It's like,
yeah,
hey!
And then like a young Asian lady comes to get Jeff Hardy's signature, and then I was like, why? And then I thought about it for a second, and it was like, oh,
because he's got that visual K look.
Like you said, you were going to use that joke.
I did it without the accent, so it's better.
Okay. But yes, just
they also went to Singapore, which, you know, not often they talk about.
No Kane match. No Kane match.
No,
that might be slightly offensive.
That might be racist. Well, also Sandman wasn't there, so of course there wasn't a Singapore Kane match.
I guess it's better than just walking around and saying, "Oh, look out! Mick Foley's got the booking."
Oh, jeez.
Oh my God! The Rock hit Mankind over the back with that booking.
Actually, that's a good point, though, because Singapore canes aren't really Singapore canes. Yeah. They're more like really bad kendo like swords.
The booking.
The booking. Is that how you pronounce it?
Let me get the like the Japanese bot.
Because I've always thought it was like Bakken.
Let me check.
Bokken. It might be Bokken.
Oh, it's like Bokuto or Boku.
Boku is wood and Ken is sword. Bokuto.
Okay, Bakken.
It is sometimes spelled with only one K in English, because fucking America, I guess. Yeah. So we have the Southeast Asia hype package, which is kind of nice. Tajiri gets a little more respect.
He's got signs.
He's got signs and shit.
And like,
I think Funaki was also in the. I think Funaki was also in the package because they still have Funaki.
Funaki, who should be out here.
Yeah. And then we cut to the back and like, Ric Flair's in his office, I think.
Yes, Ric Flair is in his office with a referee.
Yeah, and then like they get a knock on the door and it's police.
They actually have people in uniform this time.
Yeah, and like they're actually people in uniform and not just guys with security on the back.
So
and they're like,
he's announcing that Ric Flair's being arrested for punching out a fan.
And like the fans there, it's like, that's the one who hit me. And it's just like, I am fucking livid. Because it's like, so Ric Flair is getting arrested for accidentally hitting a fan. But there are so many crimes that happen on this show.
Oh, we forgot something. I'm sorry.
What?
There was a segment after like Jericho runs away.
Yeah.
Where like I think it was Jericho, but like Kane marches outside to like a cold garage.
We haven't gotten there yet.
Oh,
that's not yet. We will get there though.
Okay, sorry.
That's after this.
I have these in the slightly wrong order.
But yeah, so Ric Flair is getting arrested.
Yeah.
But it's like fucking Triple H just committed product tampering like 2 days ago or a day ago.
And we got the hot coffee incident.
And the hot coffee incident. There are so many people who you should be arresting right now. But you're going to arrest Ric Flair for accidentally hitting a fan. Like, I don't even know why the fan is pressing charges. Because he got accidentally punched. Unless he was planted by The Undertaker to take that punch, then, like...
Well, as they take Ric Flair away, out from the corner leans a mischievous little 6'9" man giggling at the fact that Ric Flair got arrested.
Yes.
He's like, hee.
Fucking... This is so dumb. And then we cut to like Kane walking around
looking for Kurt
with
Angle.
The mask on, shouting, Kurt, come out here, I want to talk. And then Kurt Angle jumps him in the back. And like fucking it was somewhere in the parking lot.
It was like outside it was like a parking area, and then they ran through like a little mini garage.
Yeah.
And like, Angle gets the advantage by hitting Kane with a green chair.
Actually, I think he knocks him down and then he slams the door on him.
Yeah, he knocks him down and slams the door on him.
And then hits him with the green chair. This has been a night of like colored chair, like multicolored chairs. And
tonight's episode is sponsored by different colored chairs.
Different colored chairs, because we had like Goldust gold chair, we had this green chair.
They're not blue.
Like, usually they're blue, like gray or black.
Yeah, that's so like standard steel chair colors.
So like having these different colors is kind of charming. But yeah, this is happening. Like,
this happens right after he got arrested. This worse version of assault.
An actual premeditated assault is happening. Cops are nowhere. Fucking hate wrestling logic so much.
Yes.
And now we got Lita versus Stacy Keibler, aka Jerry Lawler's boner.
Yes, and also Stacy Keibler's terrible techno remix of She's Got Legs.
Yes. This match is unfortunately short.
And then clips of
She's got legs!
She's got legs!
It's kind of like I made the comparison of like the Moose T remix of A Little Less Conversation by Elvis Presley. You know that. I don't know if anyone remembers
with like the break beat, like playing over while like Elvis is singing.
Yeah. It was like that. I feel like we're talking more about this theme song, if only because the match is so short.
It is literally just like Jerry Lawler talking about his penis while these two people kind of wrestle.
And then like Lita hits like this kind of cool proto bomb looking thing.
Oh yeah, she hits like this cool spin out bomb, and then just pins, and then like nails a moonsault and pins her.
I don't know if she even nails the moonsault. I think she pins her off the proto bomb.
Yeah,
but it's like this match should have been longer, and it's really nice. It was some solid wrestling.
It was solid wrestling, but only for like 30 seconds because Jazz is gonna go beat the two of them up.
That dirty women's champion.
Yes, Michael Cole with the oops all racist flub of. Like, actually, I don't even know I don't know what he was going to say, but he just went that dirty women's champion.
There's like a clear space between dirty and women's champion where
he almost said something that he knew he shouldn't fucking say.
He was almost about to say a racist word.
I don't know what else he was going to call her. Like, it really sounded like he caught himself right before saying like something that's like, I hope fucking NWA's hiring.
Right. I hope TNA's starting up soon. They aren't starting up until May, so he better hope that ESPN doesn't catch him. Coachman's already looking to get a job there.
Dirty women's champion.
Yeah, Jazz comes in, does a beat down on
They
Lita.
kept using the word retribution.
Retribution. God damn it. You know, we're trying to get away from that, guys.
We're in 2002 for a reason.
But yeah, so we're building up to something, hopefully. Probably a match on hopefully a match on next SmackDown or next Raw.
Coach Finn is trying to do like a walk and talk interview with Stephanie, and she finds out that her Corvette is parked in the parking lot.
And so she just kind of whatever, I'm leaving. She doesn't say anything mean to him. So we made the
joke of just like we should make a joke of Coach just be like, you know what? I'm fine with that.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. I'd rather be dismissed than insulted.
Yes. Or sexually threatened, which seems to be a recurring theme.
Or sexually threatened by men.
Yeah. Especially The Rock.
We reveal that in between the argument and now, which was only about an hour or so, Triple H cut an entire Corvette in half.
Actually, yeah. Yeah, he brought up the Corvette here. So it's been almost like an hour. And her car is cut in half. Like, it's cut like horizontally, I want to say.
It's cut. Yeah, the front half is still there.
The front half is
the back half isn't.
Okay, so it'd probably be cut vertically then. He cut this vertically in half and left like the front seat, and like where was like, how did he do this? How did he get it done so fast?
How did he get it done? Who did he get to help him do this? Like,
was this premeditated?
Was this premeditated? How do you tell someone to bring half a car? I don't. And the car alarm starts going off.
Yeah, like Stephanie, in her anger, kicks the car alarm or kicks the car, and the alarm goes off, and it's like, how is that still working?
Over the alarm.
How is it still working?
I think I said that the electronics are mostly in the front.
Yeah,
it's a rear-wheel drive car, but that's mostly just for the drivetrain. I don't know. That dirty women's champion.
Oh my god! But we're still like. Also, this is another crime.
Triple H, stop doing crimes.
So, destruction of private property.
Destruction of private property, and how the fuck do you cut a car in half that fast? Like, you'd have to drain the gas out of it first, because if you cut it in half with a saw, it'd blow the fuck up, and then all the arena has to be evacuated and all that shit.
Right? And wait, if the car is siphoned out, then how is the alarm running? Doesn't that also run on gas?
No, the alarm is hooked up to the battery, which does have a charge for an amount of time until the alternator runs out of juice.
You think he would have cut the alarm too?
Maybe. But you know, she's crying over the alarm.
Destruction of private property, but Ric Flair is the one who gets to go to jail for accidentally punching a guy.
Yep.
Oh my god.
The least bad crime got arrested.
Right?
So the Rock's facing Scott Hall.
The Rock versus Scott Hall. This was a match.
It wasn't bad. Rock hit a pretty sick kip up, even though it led into a garbage sharpshooter.
With Hulk Hogan.
It's kind of the standard thing of like, oh, Rock would win this match if the NWO stopped distracting him.
Stayed out of it, but no.
And Hall's got a weird piece of paper in his chest hair.
Yes, and this is where I noticed like his ankles are kind of thinnish.
Yeah.
Because his boots were either his boots are really tight or he's got like thin lower legs.
This isn't really that much of a match, because Stone Cold just runs out and tells them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah. I don't even remember if anyone won.
Like, Stone Cold runs out, they brawl. Eventually, the NWO are scattered, and Stone Cold literally just flips him off and goes, fuck you, and then it bleeps it.
Yeah. It made it sound like,
regrouping to fuck another day.
Exactly, thank you. Because, like, JR goes, like, regrouping to fight another day, but because the bleep happens just as he's saying fight, it sounds like regrouping to fuck another day.
Yes.
Then Vince comes out.
He does.
And he starts talking about how, like, oh, you want to fight the NWO? You want to team up and fight the NWO? And then he says, this Monday night, you'll get your match. This Monday night, which is, I'm sorry, that might be correct, but it doesn't sound right.
He booked a tag team match for 3 days ago. What do you mean?
Because it's like, yeah, this Monday night would be the Monday of the week.
The Monday of the week they're in.
which would be it would be 3 days ago.
Yeah,
or
so
two,
he would say like next Monday, right?
Yeah, next Monday night is what you want to say. Because that's when Raw is next Monday, not this Monday. You're on SmackDown.
Yes.
I know you've gotten to say bitch at least 3 times uncensored, but you are on UPN, you're on SmackDown.
Yep.
And then we end on the replay.
Oh yeah, they run out of time. Or they run out of like segment and they just start doing replays and then sometimes cutting back to like Stone Cold having beers with The Rock and throwing them towards McMahon and making McMahon flinch, but they keep fucking cutting the camera wrong.
Like they keep I think they only show either the beers flying at them
or McMahon flinching.
Yeah, they don't show like Austin actually throwing the beers.
Just
properly.
throw those beers off screen.
Yeah, the beers are coming at them from off screen, basically.
And yeah, they just kept running the fucking replay, and then, all right, that's it.
Otherwise a good week though.
It's better than the last two.
It's been better than the last two. Like we were engaged the whole time. We didn't, apart from Booker T versus Tajiri, we didn't like wind down the way we did.
Sometimes I'll kind of start getting sleepy and not write down the last like 20 minutes of SmackDown.
Yeah, and my tanks are usually spent at that by the time we hit the SmackDown main event. But this time we were engaged.
Yeah, it flew by like a fucking breeze, and that's a good thing.
We were entertained. There was stuff we didn't like, but we covered that in detail. And the good outweighed the bad this week, I'd say.
Yes, and that leads us to awards. By the way, which show did you like better?
Great question. I'm going to say because there were less NWO segments, SmackDown might have had the lead on that.
Raw had some good matches, but SmackDown had less NWO.
Yeah, but at the same time, Raw had the better matches, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to say Raw, though.
Yeah, Raw, especially for that main event.
That main event was pretty good. That was very Raw.
Yes. And speaking of the main event, our MVP this week, surprisingly, not Kurt Angle. I'm giving it to Triple H.
Kurt Angle was very close, and I was going to give it to him, but Mega Fighter has pointed out to me we have awarded it to him the last 5 weeks.
For five episodes in a row, Kurt Angle has won.
Yes.
So I felt like, you know what, let's be fair, let's spread some love, and let's give it to Triple H, who definitely earned it this week.
Because, he might be overrated in, like, that era, but that doesn't mean he's bad.
And his angles might suck, but his wrestling is still good enough to, like...
make up for it?
Like, go.
As long as it's not too sports entertainment-y.
Yeah. Which having a wrestling guy in there definitely helped.
Underrated was fucking hard.
It was fucking hard because
it was so much harder because I've had this argument and discussion like behind the scenes. But I was always trying to figure out if underrated should be deserves better or does a good job in the position they're in.
Yeah. Of what makes someone underrated. And ultimately I went with Lance Storm.
And I was kind of fighting for like Albert and some other guys, but I agreed with him eventually. Because
Lance Storm managed to make a 5-minute match feel like a 10-minute match,
and they had a match with a fucking story.
They had a match with story. They made a 5-minute match feel like a 10-minute match, and that's not a bad thing when we say that. We mean like that it was like more engaging than it was.
It's like you were watching a 10-minute match on fast forward.
Yeah, like at 1.5 speed.
Yeah, but like that's fine. It's like people who read for like 1.5.
Yeah.
So Lance Storm, you got one.
Sign of the week because it was the most like interesting sign we had seen. Is Vince eats man chowder?
Oh yes, Vince eats man chowder. I saw a sign for the Booker T shampoo.
Oh yeah,
that they barely mentioned. But
then
the
this Yakumoshi. Or Yakomoshi, whatever it is. The shampoo.
I still don't know what that means.
We still don't understand it.
Like, we Googled it, we looked it up.
We tried.
It's nothing. It doesn't mean anything.
We may as well just keep calling it the yakisoba shampoo.
Yakisoba shampoo. It makes your hair look like noodles. Dolph Ziggler uses that.
My why segment of the week was Ric Flair getting arrested.
It kind of has it's a why that exists because other things around it make it a why.
Where it's like, why? Everyone else is committing crimes. Ric Flair accidentally punches a dude, and he's the one going to jail.
But like Triple H is fine, and fucking Kane and Kurt Angle's fine.
Kurt Angle's fine. Triple H has both done product tampering and destruction of private property.
Especially towards the same person, and that's grounds for a restraining order.
That's grounds for a restraining order. But no, Ric Flair, you go to jail because you punched a guy by complete accident.
And you could at least, just apologize and give him a shirt, the typical apology.
Jerry Lawler first count is at 18.
Jesus Christ.
I gave him like 5 points at one point because he went like puppies and legs and puppies and legs, fives, legs, legs. And it's like, oh my God.
It's like, please stop.
Please stop. No 2000s alert this week. There's nothing new or unique with the 2000s alert to bring up.
Yeah.
Sadly. We're hoping for another terrible movie for them to plug.
Come on, just find some shit movie. Just
I know we're out of fuck you, it's January, but come on.
Fuck you, it's January. Endless trash.
Endless trash. All right. So that was Wrassleboys for the first week of March. We are now going to have one more week before Sour Skittles.
Oh yeah. I cannot wait for Sour Skittles. I'm telling you, I will buy Sour Skittles for that episode. I don't even like sour things because like the crystals start like cutting the top of my mouth.
Sour Skittles are so fucking hard.
And they're
like,
they're like harder to chew.
Yeah.
They're
what was the one sour candy that we found out that we actually like? Because it doesn't do that.
I think it was called like Albanese gummies because they like cook the sour crystals into the gummy.
Yeah.
Instead of like coating it in it, so it stays sour. It doesn't become sweet by sucking on it.
Yeah.
Which is what I do. When I have sour candy, I'll like put it in my mouth and like suck the sour off and then eat it.
Yeah, because then it's just hard as a fucking rock.
Yeah. Skittles. Can't wait for WrestleMania.
Yeah. I'm Mega Fighter. That's Allie.
Oh hey, that's Mega Fighter.
And like we always say on Wrassleboys, we do it for the Nuki.
We do it for the Nuki. What? The Nuki. What?
The Nuki.
The Nuki. What?
So you can take that cookie and